YouTube family. I have what is going to be quite a daunting task to complete over the course of the next couple of days. I am a member of a raw dog food feeding co-op, the Dallas-Fort Worth Roswell's co-op, something like that. It's a Facebook group, and together we're able to place orders for frozen raw dog food at unbelievably low prices. So I placed my first order. I've been a member of the group for probably 4 or 5 years, and I was cooking for the dogs when I first joined the group, and I enjoyed that. I did that partly because I just had grown concerned about reports of kibble causing problems or all the recalls for dog kibble. So I cooked for them for a long time. I joined this group because I've been interested in feeding raw since before I started cooking for them, but I had some hang-ups about handling raw meat, and the concept of any creature eating raw meat kind of stressed me out, so I just wasn't ready to take the plunge. But I became a member of this group because you can only place orders if you're part of the co-op, and the volume of orders is why the price is so low. So anyway, years ago, Serena began having a lot of problems with her skin. We thought it was just allergies. I thought it was a chicken sensitivity issue initially, so we stayed away from any chicken products. She could have turkey, and it didn't cause the same kind of problems. Anyway, cut to the chase, about 3 years ago, she started getting recurrent yeast infections to the point that she always had a yeast infection. It may have been longer than 3 years ago. And then that would turn into a secondary infection, skin infection. She would go to the doctor. He'd put her on a steroid and antifungal, antibiotics. And over the course of about a year, that's when we learned that she has an autoimmune disorder. So anything that might have impacted a healthy dog was even more severe for her because of this immune disorder she has. So the doctor told us after, I don't even know how many rounds of medicines, that he didn't want to put her on medicines again, that was not a long-term solution, and that there could be side effects that were more problematic than the symptoms she was experiencing. So I began exploring ways to keep her comfortable and healthy. And among those, it wasn't until about a year ago, I think, maybe a little longer, that I first introduced her to raw food. And within probably the first 50 or 60 days, there was almost a miraculous change in how she looked and her energy levels. She had so much trouble keeping her weight up, and you could just tell she was miserable. And it was awful to look at her. She just had bald patches all over her body, and everything was red and inflamed, and she was constantly scratching and licking and chewing on herself. So I started a raw food diet after doing a little bit of research. And again, within a couple of months, drastic results. So I thought, oh my goodness, this is the solution for her. And it has been the solution for her, but it's very expensive to feed raw. Kibble is like the fast food, is like fast food for humans. So it's tasty, everybody likes it, it's super cheap, and then to eat healthy is a lot more expensive. So the same holds true for dogs. So we fed raw as we could. We're not a wealthy family, and before I found this co-op, it would have required us to be a wealthy family to be able to keep her on raw food all the time. And I could tell if it went too long, if she went too long without raw and she was eating kibble again, here would come the skin issues. So I finally decided to place my first order with this co-op a few months ago. I'm trying to remember when the orders, I think we place the orders once a quarter. So you have to be prepared to store it you got to have some freezer space. And I wasn't sure if I would like it. I wasn't sure if she would like it. So the first time I only ordered enough food. It ended up lasting her not quite 4 weeks. Again, we only order once a quarter, so I couldn't order more when I ran out of that. And I had to wait until the next time to order. So the first time I ordered 40 pounds that comes in tubes. And it came to, I want to say, $2.20 or so a pound, maybe another 50 cents a pound. Still much, much less expensive than Stella and Chewy's or Instinct or any of the other processed raw stuff you can find at PetSmart or feed stores. Anyway, so this past time, orders were open at the beginning of December, and then the orders are processed over the course of the next 30 days, and then we make a trip to pick up our order at a warehouse about a half an hour from here. So Richard went and picked all of that up on Monday this week. Today is Wednesday, the 10th of January. He picked it up on Monday, the 8th. And I ordered 100 pounds of food. So here's the processing of that food. If you're interested in feeding raw, I would look into whether or not there might be a similar co-op in your area, because it really can get expensive to feed raw. And I'm not going to say that's the best idea for every dog, for every family. You know your dog better than anyone. I'm sure there are pros and cons to raw, just like there are pros and cons to feeding kibble. But for our family, for Serena, raw is the answer. The boys get it every now and then as a treat. I would love to put them all on the raw food, but I don't know. Even at this lower cost per pound, it's a lot of money. And partly because we have to order for 3 months at a time. And we do have a chest freezer, so we've got ample storage space for all of it. But anyway, to save myself a little money, last time again I ordered it, it came in tubes. This time I ordered the big 50-pound blocks of frozen ground dog food, which means I have to cut it up and process it myself, and that's what I'm going to share with you today. Now, getting this into the refrigerator, when Richard brought it home, it sat on the counter for a little while to get a little bit thawed. It was frozen solid. And before I went to bed, then I put it in the refrigerator because I didn't want to leave it out on the counter. It was still pretty much frozen when I checked it this morning, so I had to leave it sitting on the counter for a little while just to thaw enough for me to cut into it. But that would have been an interesting video for you right there, is me handling these 50-pound cumbersome blocks of dog food to get them into the refrigerator. Anyway, all of that to say, here comes the video of my experience now dividing up and packaging individual portions from these big blocks. It's worth the time and money. I think this last batch, because I ordered it in the big blocks instead of the convenient tubes, I got it all 100 pounds for like $1.80 a pound. That includes the tax. And you cannot find that in any processed food at the pet store or the grocery store or the feed store. Any of those commercially available brands are 10 times that much. Maybe that's a little bit of an exaggeration, but it's just really expensive to do it that way. So I hope you enjoyed the video today. Thanks for checking it out. Here we go. 100 pounds. I got two 50-pound boxes, and there's one. I've had it kind of thawing in the refrigerator here. So there's one. It's just a big block of frozen ground dog food. So this is the Titan Blue. So it's got a combination of poultry, beef, and salmon. It has, I think, some organ meat and, tripe, things like that in it. So everything you need for a balanced diet for your dog, but it means you've got to do the work to get it portioned out to feed it. So this sat on the counter for a little while last night, and then I put it in the refrigerator overnight. And now I'm attempting to get it cut up and divided into 1-pound portions. So I've got my little 16-ounce scale here that I found at an estate sale. I've got 3 1-pound portions all ready to go. When I fill this bag, it'll go in the refrigerator because Serena will eat that over the course of the next, day and a half or so. One package at breakfast, 1 package at dinner. I'll have to kind of experiment with how much to give her. I think she's still about 80 pounds. She put on a little weight when we switched her to raw. So that's good because she was having a lot of trouble keeping weight on. She's older and she's got some health issues and an immune disorder. And all of these little things that are parts of her daily life can either help or hinder those things. So I thought you might be interested, in watching what I'm working on today to get this first 50-pound box divvied up, to put some in the refrigerator and then put the rest in the freezer. I don't think I'll get both of these done today, so my hope is that the one that's in the refrigerator will be a little more thawed by tomorrow and it'll be a little easier to work with. But just for the sake of sharing what's going on here, I'm really excited to have found this group. I've been a member of this group for 4 or 5 years now, but just didn't bite the bullet and take the plunge to place an order until a few months ago. So she loves it. The boys get it as a treat every now and then. I'd love to switch them all to raw, so we'll see if that happens. And again, this comes out to like $2 a pound versus the $6 to $10 a pound that you pay for like Stella and Chewy's or Instinct or one of the processed, big manufacturer raw foods. So nothing real exciting. I mean, it's exciting to me because I'm glad I found this source of quality food for Serena. But thought you might enjoy watching me work, at least for some a different content idea. So it's still pretty frozen because it was frozen solid when Richard picked it up for me. So to maintain her weight, she needs to eat between 2 and 3% of her current body weight. And I think she's at a good, healthy body weight right now. She's not very active. She's got some aches and pains just related to age, a little bit of arthritis in her hips. Okay, we're going to call that a pound. So inside the big Ziploc, I'm just separating it so that it doesn't stick together. The different portions don't stick together. Just putting them in these little fold top sandwich bags. I felt like that was probably the most economical way to get them portioned out. We had to clear out space in our chest freezer. We have a nice chest freezer in the garage. Again, these will go in the refrigerator because she's going to be eating these over the next couple of days. She already had some breakfast this morning. All right, so there's one bag. That is roughly 4 pounds of dog food. I've got more bags ready to go. So I'm going to continue this process until I have all of this box done. So send me some stamina vibes. Let me tell you, 50 pounds. I don't know that frozen weighs more than thawed or not, but me having to lift these boxes to get them in this refrigerator last night, well, that was worth a video. I should have recorded that. Richard had already gone to bed because they'd been sitting out on the counter. I was hoping they would be thawed enough that I could maybe get some ready for this morning. But it was still frozen so solid. But I didn't want to leave it out all night. For one thing, the dogs roam the house at night, and it wouldn't be outside the realm of possibility that they would realize what this was and do a little counter surfing. We typically do not have any problems with counter surfers here, but that's because I don't leave stuff out to tempt them. So that's my project for today, for this week. And if you haven't noticed, I'm going to be experimenting with some new times for the roundup. So I've done the roundup at 2 o'clock on Friday afternoons since July the 15th when we did the very first RichKat Ranch roundup. And I don't feel like it's getting the level of engagement that I'd like. So I'm going to experiment with some new times. So I'm going to move that to Tuesday evenings, and I'm going to do a Tuesday evening live just to get some data and see if I feel like it's a better option. Feel free to comment below if you have suggestions on what maybe the best time would be. And then we're starting a new series, so to speak. We're going to do a live stream every Saturday evening, and I'm going to show you what I'm cooking. So we'll have an opportunity to just chat and connect, but you'll also get to maybe learn how to cook something. You know, I do like to do recipes on the channel. So you may even see some things on a Saturday here and there that I've already done a how-to recipe video on in the last couple of years, but you'll get to watch me, you know, as we visit. So I hope that's fun. It sounds fun to me, and kudos and thanks to those that will check it out and let me know what you think. So that will be coming up. The first one is coming up this Saturday night, the 13th of January. I think I have it set for 7 p.m. So we'll try that. We're going to see how that goes. And as always, thank you for stopping by to hang out with me for a little while and see what I'm working on. I appreciate you so much. Thank you to our new subscribers. Again, thank you for those that helped us cross that 2,700 line before we hit midnight on New Year's Eve. That was really exciting to me. Still putting out shorts every day but Thursdays. Thursdays just is not a good day for content for my channel for whatever reason, and it doesn't matter the reason. I don't expect you guys to be on every day. So I probably won't put up a short on Thursdays, but I'll have shorts still going out pretty consistently, and I'm going to be experimenting with these new live days and times and ideas. We're expecting snow here beginning Sunday night this weekend, the 14th of January. We'll see. Often it gets pushed out, and so what we think is going to happen on one day, the system is slower coming in or something, and we don't see it till the following day. But Monday calls for snow. Sunday night calls for freezing rain and sleet, and then it gradually turns into snow. So we'll see. I won't mind snow because I don't have to go anywhere, but it'll mean a messy yard when it all thaws. So yin and yang, you got to take the bad with the good. Okay, I've rambled enough. Thank you again for checking out the video today. I love you all. Be safe, be happy, be well, be blessed. And I'll see you in the next video. Bye, friends.